The GPS may not connect for several different reasons. Whether you're in an underground parking lot, in a tunnel, or traveling through an area with weak signal, you may encounter issues with the GPS connection. Please make sure that when testing the GPS, we are out in an open area with good reception and nothing to block the GPS signal. Keep in mind that the first connection may take up to 20 minutes. Models with a built-in GPS antenna include the U1000, Q800 Pro, F800 Pro, F800, and M1. Connect with the dashcam via Wi-Fi or hotspot. Once you're connected, go to Dashcam Info. In Dashcam Info, you'll see the GPS Status tab. Click here to see the GPS status, signal strength, along with other information. If your GPS never changes from connecting to connected, we will need to reset the GPS by clicking at the icon on the top right corner. If your GPS is still not connecting after resetting, we will need to update the dashcam's firmware, which will also update the GPS. You can find instructions on how to do this in the video's description below. If your GPS is still not connecting after resetting and update the firmware, the built-in GPS antenna may be defective. Please contact our support team for further assistance. Models with external GPS antenna include the F200, F200 Pro, X700, X1000, and F70. First, unplug the GPS antenna and check the cable for any damage. With the GPS antenna unplugged, the GPS status will be connection failed. When plugging in the GPS antenna, the GPS status should first change to connecting and then after a few minutes, connected. If your GPS status remains as connection failed or no external GPS, even a few minutes after plugging the GPS in, the GPS antenna may be defective and needs to be replaced. Please contact our support team for further assistance. If your GPS status stays at connecting but doesn't switch to connected, please try resetting the GPS. For the models with an LCD screen, such as the X700 and X1000, the GPS status can be checked and reset through the dashcam itself instead of the app. Go to the Settings tab, then click on About Device. In this page, select GPS Info. And here, you'll be able to check the GPS status as well as reset the GPS. On models with built-in Wi-Fi, such as F200, F800, F200 Pro, please reset the GPS by connecting to the Thinkware Dashcam Link app. Lastly, if the GPS is still not connecting after resetting it, we'll need to update the dashcam's firmware, which will also update the GPS, following the instructions in the description. If you continue to experience issues with the GPS, please reach out to our support team.